And David Gill will be interested in the renewed speculation of a takeover here at Old Trafford, because the Sunday Times report that American billionaire Malcolm Glazer is planning to take control of the club after spending the last month attempting to raise the necessary finances in America. Glazer is currently United's second largest shareholder with just over 19%, and the club's valued at a total of £665 million at the moment. Well, feelings amongst fans groups here in England have been running high on the issue, and as Paul Anthony found out, supporters in America have also been voicing their concerns about any bid.
The campaign to keep United out of the hands of potential buyers is ongoing in the United Kingdom, and now that campaign has turned to the United States. Shareholders United are using the Reds tour to promote their organisation, and it seems to be doing the trick. Against Celtic at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, things were in full swing.
The flag is here, it's not for sale, and it's not hanging on the structure right now, which has been the biggest problem we've had with Lincoln Financial Field. We brought it in yesterday, we were a little disobedient, but we felt there was a point to be made. And so we reached an agreement with the gentleman who's the Director of Event Services, who said we could hang it anywhere outside. It turns out he doesn't want us to hang it up, so we've got a couple of strong backs holding it up right now.
Shareholders United, basically a strong organisation in the United Kingdom, and it looks, by the strength of it, it's a very strong organisation here as well in the States.
The response has been absolutely remarkable, Paul. I mean, we have handed out thousands and thousands of cards. Everybody we've spoken to is very positive about it, and they actually understand the issues that are out there. I mean, they understand that this isn't about Malcolm Glazer. They understand it's about protecting the club and keeping it independent to preserve the traditions of over 125 years of support.
How important is it for people to get involved here in the States? We know how important it is over in England.
Well, you know, what's really unfortunate right now, at least in my view, is that what they're seeing of Manchester United is $85 shirts and $15 programs. And we believe it's important for them to really, if they're going to be Reds, they should understand the history of the club and the traditions of it. And we feel that really if the supporters can demonstrate that, particularly the American supporters, you know, with voices and accents they understand too, I mean, I think we can really make the kind of dent that I think the club are hoping to make here as well. I mean, obviously, this is one of the vast untapped markets for United. And we want it to be the kind of market that just doesn't buy shirts, to be the market that really understands the traditions and history of the club, and to be the market as well that takes the responsibility of support seriously. And we believe that the best way to do that is by owning pieces of the club, by owning shares. Growing like a weed, grown by a factor of 5 over the last 12 months alone. And we're in 55 countries. I mean, the Reds are everywhere. Reds are here, Reds are there, Reds are everywhere. And that's what we're here to do tonight. We are here to continue giving the message that our club is not for sale, whether it's Malcolm Glazer or anybody else.
So it seems that it's not only in the United Kingdom that Shareholders United is growing. Across the Atlantic, the American shareholders are doing their bit, and it's paying off. On the day that we were there, they handed out over 5,000 cards, and the feedback from the majority of those supporters is that they will be doing their bit to keep Manchester United a fans' club. Paul Anthony, Red Hot News in the United States of America.
Watching from inside Old Trafford, members of Shareholders United and the Musa were gathering to watch the Reds in action in their final game over in the States. Tim Howard's penalty miss may have meant United came away from America without a single win to their name, but for the two supporter groups, it's been a successful tour. They used the tournament to get more Reds fans buying shares in the club to avoid a full takeover, and that's involved removing their United Not For Sale banner from the Stretford end and taking it with them across the pond to spread the word. But it hasn't always been welcome.
It was decided to take it over to America, try and spread the word over there, particularly Malcolm Glazer being American. The first match, it wasn't allowed to be taken into the stadium, even though other people had their banners inside, so we're not quite sure why that was. There were stories that it was because of the sponsors not wanting other banners up there apart from their own. And the second match, no banners at all were allowed in, but apparently this match now, they have taken it inside, and we're hoping to see it at some point during the coverage.
The banner was shown in length during the AC Milan game, and it's hoped that it received enough publicity to gauge the American public's interest, especially after David Gill met with Malcolm Glazer's sons in Chicago during the Bayern Munich match.
They are large shareholders in the club, and obviously our chief executive will have discussions with them in the same way that he would have discussions with other shareholders. I think it's important though for the larger shareholders to realise that, you know, as far as we're concerned, the supporters have an appetite for the shares of the club, and the supporters want the club to be owned by supporters. So I think they're pretty much aware of it now in America from the response we've had.
The support for the movement is growing, but it's not just the United fans in the US who are signing up. MP Tony Lloyd is a patron of Shareholders United, and he hopes their efforts in the States will help change American attitudes to how clubs should be run.
I think it has to be understood that sport has a different image, a different way of doing things in Britain. It's not that people don't think that sport should be run efficiently, run properly as a business. I think most of us now know that that's got to be the way. What we don't want is for it to be either the plaything of very rich individuals, or on the other hand, simply there to eke out more corporate profit.
With Malcolm Glazer's intentions still not known, if he decides to increase his 19.17% stake in the Reds, speculation will continue that a takeover is on the cards. Something that Shareholders United and the Musa will try to prevent. Matt Cole, Red Hot News.
Well, with that story in mind, let's take a quick check on the club's financial figures tonight. And United shares finished trading at 254 1/4 pence. That's up 3/4 of a penny since the close of trading last week.